Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for including us in the Innovation Grant 2018 cohort. Tonight, we'll be talking to you about the ways in which we would like to support our African American students at the Academy of San Francisco to feel more connected to the school and to each other. First, a little bit of background. Since 2016, the Academy has partnered with Ali to bring the African American Village program to our school. Over the course of 2 years, we have added 2 different 9th grade cohorts of high-achieving African American students to the program. The group met quarterly, had a dedicated mentor, and went on several college field trips together. In the process of deciding to apply to the Innovation Grant this year, we began asking ourselves, where can we go from here as a school that strives to support our African American student population? We know that we have a successful and committed BSU, a strong connection between athletics and academics, a small school environment, and a committed staff. How can we use these assets to create a system of support that encourages a culture of success in our African American students?
Our team is comprised of students, faculty, community departments, and admin. Some of our team isn't here right now because of basketball play. Our challenge was how might we support our African American students at the Academy of San Francisco to develop a strong sense of belonging and connectedness to our school and each other, so that they can successfully access post-secondary options. From our SEL data, we knew that 65% of our African American students reported having a growth mindset, but in a recent BSU survey, 80% of our students said their main points of connection to our school are only BSU and athletics. Through our discovery phase, we interviewed students, gave a survey through the BSU, and looked at our initial results from our African American Village cohorts. Some of our key insights were opportunities from our African American students and staff to build a sense of connectedness, make a large impact. Not all African American students feel connected to ASF or to BSU. Students want to have experiences together that bond them. Many of our African American students have had adverse childhood experiences and don't yet possess their resilience to bounce back from challenges.
Our biggest insight was that trauma is an equity issue. 3 of our core design principles or theories of action in this process were bonding time, offsite promotes connectedness, a focus on developing growth mindset and goal-setting strategies will improve self-confidence and resilience. Small focus groups will produce strong results. We innovated several of our core supports for students with the question, how can we create a more natural relationship building model that supports student committedness and belief in their own capacity and mind? In exploring the possibilities that off-site bonding might realize, we focused on the African American boys on the basketball team. They went with Alvaro and Miss Perkins on an overnight retreat focused on connectedness and resilience. To date, of the boys who attended this trip, 6 out of 7 realized positive results that have allowed them to keep their long and short-term goals in focus. Here are some highlights from this retreat.
This retreat showed that people in our school care about us.
This was a great opportunity.
One that stuck out the most to me was that we created a brotherhood team.
All right. In the process of exploring the impact of a focus on the development of growth mindset and resilience, we held many resume workshops for some of our African American seniors. And lastly, when innovating around how we can leverage small focus groupings of students, we implemented a consistent series of college application workshops for a small group of our African American female seniors. We know that some of our African American students who have experienced trauma, that's impacting their resilience and thereby their learning. We know that we need positive experiences to shift these outcomes. And we needed the innovation grant process to help us get unstuck in taking these supports to the next level, which it did. So thank you. The overall outcome we want for our students is to develop a tradition of systematically welcoming and supporting African American students at our campus community, and to ensure consistent and responsive support from on-campus mentors focused on developing growth mindset, resilience, and encouragement of a college-going culture.
So our overarching goals, we have 3 overarching goals, are to 1, improve access to African American students post-secondary planning. 2, ensure that students cultivate and can communicate their personal belief system towards post-secondary. 3, increase the number of African American students participating in extracurricular activities, in particular the Black Student Union. Additionally, we have several long-term and short-term measures that will allow us to track our success. An additional breakdown for how we will analyze our success both quantitatively and qualitatively is here. So we're going to look at average GPAs of participants, SEL surveys, African American student retention, continued BSU surveys, college application completion rates, goal setting and follow through by students, as well as retreat and BSU participation rates. Our final proposal has 5 major points. 1, we're going to have a fall boys and a fall girls retreat at Point Bonita YMCA. 2, to have year-long support for participants going through, focusing 1 BSU meeting per month on promoting college-going culture and reflecting on personal growth goals. We're also going to have a responsive series of mini-group workshops focusing on and developing growth mindset, goal setting and monitoring, a college application process, and resume development. 4, a spring all BSU retreat at Point Bonita YMCA. And finally, 5, a summer weekly college prep check-in system, which includes SAT prep.
Based on this proposal, we came up with a budget based on quotes for the trip and estimated costs based on supporting a fully implemented year-round support program. In total, we are requesting $28,000 and increased support from Ali. In particular, we are asking for more specific communicated partnerships with Beyond 12 funding for the success liaison in partnership with Ali Events. Thank you in advance for helping us to create a growth mindset, resilience, and connectedness among our African American community as the academy.